Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Quant Masters. I am Deepshikha, and today we have with us Malesh, who will be sharing his interview experience of getting placed in Mindtree. Congratulations, Malesh, from the entire team of Quant Masters. So, how are you feeling?
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm feeling very much happy about being selected for Mindtree.
Okay. So, what is the designation that has been offered to you?
Ma'am, I was offered a software engineering role in Mindtree, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Malesh, before starting, we would like to know which department and which college are you from?
Uh,
Uh,
I'm from Telangana and I'm completed my graduation in RGKT Basel and my stream is Electronics and Communication Engineering.
okay, fine. Mayur, before starting your interview preparation, you would have gone through some researches and all. You would have gone through your plannings about how I'm going to go about the preparation. So, how was it about? I mean, from where did you started preparing? So, please tell us about that.
Ma'am, before actual date of my assessment, I get to know about this job description 10 days before. So right from then I started preparing like aptitude and practicing the coding problems and solving them in different platforms like HackerRank, problem platforms. And I practiced a cognitive part in RS Agarwal books, etc. Ma'am.
Okay, fine. I would like to know, how many rounds were there for you, and then we'll get into the details and specifications of each round, okay? So, let's start with that.
There were actually three rounds, ma'am. One is a written test, the next one is TR round, and the next one is HR round, ma'am.
Okay.
And
So,
my
in
written test
the,
and my
yeah,
written
please
after
go ahead.
my written test was scheduled on 25th May 2021, ma'am.
Okay, so it was online, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what all sections were there in that?
In the written test, there were actually six sections, ma'am. The first three sections are of coding sections, and the next three
Mm-hmm.
sections are of cognitive part, that is verbal, reasoning, and aptitudinal part. And the first three coding sections are again divided into three different levels. Like the first level is of normal implementation type, like by using
Mm-hmm.
conditional statements and loops kind of thing, we can just solve the first level coding section. And the next level coding section is of data structures and algorithms part. And in order to solve
Mm-hmm.
the third section, we required advanced algorithms and data structures. And the three coding sections altogether consist of six coding questions, two in each section. So
Okay.
in the instructions, we were told to solve only two coding questions from among all three sections. That is six questions.
Sections.
We need to choose two questions, and we need to
Okay.
choose in such a way we should select one from each section.
Okay.
So if you're a non-native background, if you're not in touch with the coding, it's better to solve the first two sections, which would award very less marks. Like if you solve the first section, we get 50 marks. If you solve the second section problem, we get 75 marks. And if we solve the third section problem, we'll get 100 marks. So in
So
order
it
to
depends upon the level of difficulty as well. So first
yes,
level was easy, then medium, then difficult.
yes.
Okay.
So in order to get the maximum marks, it's always better to solve the second section and third section problem. And also they mentioned even if all the test cases were first passed for these coding questions, full marks may not be awarded. It depends upon the logic, how we are approaching the problem. They will look at the logic and award the marks accordingly.
Okay. Fine. Do you remember what questions were asked in these three rounds? I mean, three sections.
I remember almost only three questions. Like the easy questions were like finding the number of vowels in a string. That's one
Mm-hmm.
normal question. And the second one
Mm-hmm.
is finding the sum of even numbers less than n. Like they will give an input n. We need to find the sum of all the even numbers before n. That's one question. And another question is some missing keyboards and some problems on strings. Like if you have good practice in data structures and algorithm, it's quite easy to solve those problems, man.
Okay. So this was just your coding round.
Yes, ma'am. The first
So
3 sections of written test.
yeah. So the next one was your aptitude, right?
Yes, ma'am. The next 3 sections were first one is verbal, the next one is reasoning, and the next one is aptitude section. And
Okay.
verbal consists of 25 questions, and the
Mm-hmm.
reasoning part consists of 24, and aptitude 26 questions. Altogether, 75 questions from these 3 sections, ma'am. And the
Mm-hmm.
questions were from the topics that we are already aware of. Like in the verbal sections, they asked questions from tenses, grammar, and error spotting, sentence rearrangement, one-word substitutes, critical reasoning. Likewise, the basic questions are from the verbal. And in the reasoning part, there were 24 questions, and the problems are always bit easier one, like clocks, calendars, logarithm, seating arrangement, directions. Like the problems or the topics that everyone knows in the reasoning part. And in the aptitude also, like time work, train, mixture and delegations, compound interest, simple interest, and all likewise, ma'am.
Okay. So what was the time given for this aptitude?
Like there was no sectional timing, ma'am. For the
Mm-hmm.
complete exam, the time limit was 120 minutes, that is 2 hours. Uh, right after the 128th minute of your start of your exam, the test will get auto submit.
Okay. So you could actually navigate between sections, right?
Yes, ma'am. There is intra-sectional navigation and intersectional navigation is also possible in this exam, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So if I talk about the first round wholly solely, so it will consist of two major parts. First is coding, in which there are three questions, like three sections, and each section consisting of two questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So with increase of sections, the level of difficulty will also increase, and the
Yes,
marks which are given will also increase. First is
yes, ma'am.
50, 75, and then 100.
Yes, ma'am.
And the exact marks will not be awarded to you. It will be depending upon your logic as well
Logic.
that you're
Yes,
using,
ma'am.
right?
Yes,
So you have to perform two questions out of the all six questions in these three sections, right?
yes, ma'am.
And the next one is your aptitude, in which you will have three sections again, that is logical, verbal, and quant,
Font.
right? As you mentioned.
And
Okay, and
one more important point is in coding, Python was not allowed, ma'am. We were allowed only Java, C, and C++ languages.
okay. So, what were you like well versed with? Which programming language didn't you like?
I was comfortable with both Java and Python, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, coming to the second round, which is your technical interview, how did it go for you?
Like after completing my written test, I got result after one day, ma'am. On that is on
Okay.
26th May,
Mm-hmm.
stating that I was advanced to the next round. And on the 27th, I got a mail for a technical round, which is scheduled on the 28th May. Like the whole recruitment process was completed in a week.
Okay.
So my technical round was on 28th May. It was around 12:30 to 1 p.m. Almost 25 to 30
Around
minutes
half an hour.
duration. Yes, ma'am. 30 minutes
Mhm.
duration. In fact, I wouldn't say just a technical interview. It was technical interview plus managerial round interview because the
Okay.
first 30 questions were asked were of managerial round, ma'am. Like
Okay.
uh, after the self introduction, he directly asked me the question like, uh, right now the COVID vaccination is going on. Like if you were
Mm-hmm.
in charge of a hospital, how would you take care of the vaccination process so that it will go very smoothly? That was my
Mm-hmm.
first question. And my next question was, you are in a railway station, a train was about to leave. How will you know in which direction the train is heading towards? That was my
Okay.
second question. Like, on what basis you will get to know the train will move in such particular direction? That was my second question, ma'am. These two were
Okay.
management questions. And after that,
So kind of situation-based questions or something puzzling.
yes.
Okay.
And even if I was, I answered only 2-3 points for each question, but he interpreted he involved in between and said more points about those in what way I could answer better. He helped me likewise, ma'am.
Okay. So he helped you in communication, like in a better way.
Yes, ma'am.
Like it was a kind of like a normal conversation that we usually have.
Yes, ma'am. In
Okay.
fact, the interviewer were of almost 30 years old, I guess, not too old.
Okay. Okay.
And
So,
then,
did they ask you anything from the technical section or like programming and all?
yes, ma'am,
You're from which background, you said?
ECE background, ma'am.
Yes. So, did they ask you about any core subjects or like programming?
No, ma'am, he didn't ask anything from core subjects. He directly asked only the technical part. And even in that technical part, he had some questions like language specific, only specific to Python and Java. And some questions were related normal coding questions, ma'am. Like he asked
Okay.
OOPS concepts,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked about what is the definitions of variable, format
Mm-hmm.
specifiers, like the common things that will be there in the programming technical part.
Okay. Okay.
And he asked
So,
some
mhm.
Python language specific questions like difference between continue and pass, likewise.
Okay. This is it. They didn't ask anything beyond it. Like, if you remember anything more.
Like he asked questions like continue and pass, difference between while and do while loop, definition
Mm-hmm.
of variable, how would you access
Mm-hmm.
array elements, and what is the definition of format specifiers, and
Mm-hmm.
what are the searching algorithms that are there, which one is better. He asked me to
Mm-hmm.
explain about the searching algorithms. And
So, actually, basically, your concepts must be clear, right?
yes, ma'am, theoretically, as well as he even gave a code to write.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the browser had a video part and as well as a place to write the code where I can
Mm-hmm.
actually only write the code, but the
Mm-hmm.
same code he can compile and run to check the output, ma'am.
Okay.
So he asked me to write a code for finding the number of digits in a number.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So you did it well.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, did you do any projects or internships, and did he ask you anything about them?
Yes, ma'am. I did internships and major project even. Though my major project was not completed, he asked questions related to it, like to articulate the project in a short way. So I did explain it very well to him about my.
Mhm.
I did give the gist of my project to him, ma'am.
You mentioned that the project was not complete.
Yes, ma'am. But almost we were about to complete it in the 15 days. Will be completed. But
Mhm.
by the time I will be having some idea what my project does, right? So I just explained that thing to him.
Okay, okay. So, very well. So, like in HR, they didn't ask you like many questions, right?
Yes, ma'am. It was around 7 to 10 minutes. HR round
So,
was
can you tell
7 to 10
what were
minutes.
the questions?
And the basic HR questions like self-introduction, are you having any areas? Are you willing to relocate and working in shift basis? And
Mm-hmm.
why Mindtree? What made you to apply for Mindtree? And what do you
Mm-hmm.
know about Mindtree?
Mm-hmm.
He even asked like, do I have any other offers in hand? If so, if you have answers, on what basis you would select an organization to join as a fresher? Like what criteria you will consider?
Okay.
The basic
So,
advice.
so I would suggest that students who are watching this, I would suggest that have a complete background check of the company as you are having interview with, right?
Yes.
So, okay. So, what did you answer for the question he asked you actually?
Like the learnings that I get would be very good. And
Mm-hmm.
one positive point that I heard about Mindtree was even if you're a fresher, you can interact with your seniors who are technical leads who are in higher designations. You can
Mm-hmm.
interact with them very easily and get your doubts clarified.
Mm-hmm.
That one point, and I explained them. Uh, and after telling all these points, she said, "You think Mindtree does have all these points that you mentioned?" Then I said, "Yes." Likewise.
Okay, so had a positive approach, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I also ask you to please tell the students some do's and don'ts about the Mindtree, like when you're appearing for Mindtree interview or any other interview. So some great key takeaways they can take from this session.
Like I would suggest my peers and my juniors to to equally focus on cognitive part and the coding part, ma'am. Like people usually give more importance to the coding to get into this IT industry, but I personally feel aptitude skills and reasoning skills does plays a major role, because if a problem statement in a coding is given, in order to approach in a optimistic way to get a better solution, your aptitude skill does play a major role. That is what I feel. So it's always good practice to give much time to practice the aptitude skill as well as the coding part. And in the interviews, whatever the interviews you're giving, uh, please know about the company very well, and uh, prepare a tailor-made self-introduction and include about what designation you wanted to join as a fresher in that company, and in the long run what is your long-term goal in that company, so that they will understand you searched about the company, you know about the company, and you want to uh, level up in that company and you want to stay in that company. They will get to know about all these things.
Okay. So it actually creates a positive impact of yours on the interviewer.
Yes,
So, Abbas, after how many days did you get the results of your interview?
ma'am. Within 2 weeks, I got the result of HR interview, ma'am. Like my technical round was scheduled on 28th May, and my HR round was on 30th May. And I got to know about my selection on June 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Within
Okay.
2 weeks, I get to
So,
know about the selection.
okay, fine. So you are right now working in it, right?
Not exactly, ma'am. I didn't get the onboarding date. Maybe after post selection, they
Mm-hmm.
did conduct many campus connect sessions. In that, they introduce about the company, the value that it is creating, and in
Mm-hmm.
between, they sent a survey link like by when you will be completing your academics. Like they want to onboard students only who had completed everything about their academics. Like they do not want the students to take leave for a like Viva for project review. Like they don't want these things.
Are you 2022 pass out?
No, ma'am, I'm 2021 pass out.
Okay, okay, fine.
So they want people only who completed all their academics and join the company, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we hope you get the onboarding soon,
Yes, ma'am.
and all the best for your future. I hope students get some great insights from this interview experience of yours if they are preparing for Mindtree, or in case they are preparing for any other company. Thank you, Malesh, and thank you everybody for having us here.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
the best. All the best, Malesh. Bye.